The book The Art of War was written over 2,500 years ago as a technical manual for military generals and strategists to have guidance on how to conduct themselves and their troops most efficiently. It emphasizes the importance and benefits of diplomacy, but also how to swiftly defeat an enemy if the situation arises. Hello and welcome to this lesson on The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I'll be discussing the history, philosophy, and use of this book as a strategic manual, but providing valuable context to comprehend and utilize this ancient text. First, some background. The author Sun Tzu discusses strategies that incorporate ideas from Eastern philosophies, most notably Taoism. He makes comparisons to situations based on the use of elementals found in nature and what's known as Tao, the natural order of the universe. Taoism often uses the analogy to, quote, be like water in the way we maneuver through life, wu wei, or going with the flow. You'll often see Sun Tzu instruct the reader to mimic elements of nature with phrases like, let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. We can see just how with this one phrase, the reader is left to interpret the aspects and qualities of the words night and thunderbolt. Much more on that later. Taoism also follows the principles of yin and yang, the belief that there is a balance of forces in the universe that always seek equilibrium. Yin and yang is represented metaphorically throughout the book by some of the analogies like light and dark, action versus inaction, day and night. The overarching theme of The Art of War is to make every effort to avoid war, but swiftly and aggressively strike if provoked. If I had to summarize this book, I would say the message is victory is won by following the natural order of the universe. So let's get started with part 1, laying plans. Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a political scientist and spiritual advisor, and I like to make philosophy videos here on YouTube because I used to have a school of philosophy and a crystal shop, and now I work as an assistant producer on a talk show. But enough about me. Today we're going to be talking about the art of war and how it relates to dating advice. It's kind of a wild story how it all happened, though. But first, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you so much for being here today. Just want to let you know you are loved and appreciated, and I'm so glad you're here. This is October 1st, 2024. I planned on doing this, but there's been a lot happening in the world today, a lot happening overall. Surprise, it's October. But either way, we're going to make it through this together as everything falls apart. Maybe little contributions like this and other cultural endeavors can put it all back together. Amen. Let's get started. When I knew I wanted to make a lesson on the art of war and how it applied to our everyday lives, how we can utilize it in different interaction situations, business-wise, and yes, even love life to an extent. I knew that I needed to include that in there, and I said to myself, I could make an awesome presentation on the art of war, or I could make an awesome presentation people would want to watch. So that's how the joke of applying art of war to dating life, like I would do back when I was teaching philosophy to women primarily, I would apply it to dating advice, and very loosely. It literally was a complete joke. So, as I do with all of my videos as a philosopher, is research out of it, and I started actually seeing how a lot of these really can apply positively to relationships as far as mutual respect and as far as negotiation, a push-pull kind of thing that,
for all parties to come out favorably. Anyways, but then I started researching, has anyone else applied dating advice in the art of war? Like, has anyone done this before? And I was actually surprised, but yes, there have been a few attempts, but mostly they're from men philosophers applying it to like how they can bed women. And I'm like, give me a break. Like, we can do better than that. And then I will say initially, I thought about making this whole thing a giant troll video about dating. And then I was like, I could take this opportunity to do something useful that people might actually like. Without further ado, wait. First, a disclaimer. Please don't seriously treat relationships as battleground. This title of Dating Advice is meant to be interpreted tongue-in-cheek from the standpoint of mutual respect and conflict resolution while highlighting the importance of security and partnerships for women. I am not a relationship expert. I mostly avoid the topic with clients and focus on personal healing and growth through philosophy and spirituality instead of matters of love. So just take it off. Chapter 1 in The Art of War is called Laying Plans. Here's a couple of things that I came up with when I was reading this and thinking about it and revisiting it to make it fit with dating advice. No, not make it fit, just realized how perfectly it fits. So you're welcome. Okay. Never leave up to chance that which can be tipped in your favor. Do not go into situations blind. And why would you go into a situation without some kind of strategy, including dating or love life or looking for romance? This can literally be, I'm going to kind of break it down how it can be applied to different aspects of interpersonal relationships. Okay, do not be ignorant. Your opponent may be a better player at this game than you. Basically, you shouldn't assume that just because you have good intentions and you want the best for people and you're always looking for the good, other people are looking to take advantage of you. You should know this. You shouldn't assume everyone's good natured. And fate, destiny, chance, and reality are subject to influence. I said what I said because you have greatness within you. And I'm giving you permission to tap into that. And once you do, you will understand that certain things are within your control that you thought that were not. Now, The Art of War. The left side here is the actual script from The Art of War. On the right is some of my notes on that and a little bit of background. This part is going to be a little bit wordy, but hang in there. It is literally the formula for the rest of this book. I don't even know if I'm going to make more videos in any kind of series, but if you just get this and then you can read the whole book and it'll make a lot more sense. Okay. Number 1, laying plans. Sun Tzu said, "The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is subject of inquiry, which can on no account be neglected." Be grateful you live in a time where this book is in print, because books like The Art of War were actually reserved for military generals and leaders for most of history. So it is around and still being used for good reason. Figures like Napoleon, Fidel Castro, Mao Zedong, Henry Kissinger have all looked at this book and formulated strategies. So you too, my friend, my girl, my boy, come on, you can use this too. I'm going to show you how. So this is, you can read the rest of that on there if you want, but I do want to say this. It is called art because what you're doing is applying creativity with certain formulas. So we know that blue and red paint make purple paint, but if you want to paint a plum or a night sky, it's up to you. The art of war then is governed by 5 constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining in the field. 4. These are 1. The moral law, 2. Heaven, 3. Earth, 4. The commander, 5. Method and discipline. So in order to make the necessary calculations and strategies described in The Art of War, you must understand Sun Tzu's specific definitions almost as a key to understanding the rest of the text. So I'm going to give you some definitions about the traits and certain archetypes and that will arise that how they can be applied, especially with the dating strategy that I'm throwing in here. All right, with these constants, we can determine what our present conditions are and then calculate out a victory. And really, this, as applied to dating, is going to be what we consider our moral foundations, our hard and fast lines in the sand can or cannot tolerate this sort of behavior. And I will go through individually each one of these, but just in case you're burning with how I'm going to relate each one of these. Okay. 1, the moral law is going to be that inner voice inside of you. It's going to be your internal compass. Heaven will be things that just are in the world. Sometimes we're born short, sometimes we're born tall, sometimes we have brown hair. Just as sometimes it is winter and sometimes it is fall and spring, things just are. Okay. Earth will be what your current circumstances and terrain. The commander is going to be really, I'm just going to summarize it by saying religion or God, what rules you compass-wise, like we were talking about. And method and discipline is going to be what you're currently doing and like with your circumstances and what your accomplishments are. And I'm about to go through all these individually, don't you worry. Okay. Number 5, the moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler, so that they will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by any danger. Moral law is another way to describe loyalty or trust in the ruler. In this instance, with the dating advice, if you remember, the moral law is going to be your internal compass of what you hold to be true and certain stipulations that you would need met. Another partner. Okay. Heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons. Heaven is a catch-all term for forces of nature that behave in equilibrium and the importance of timing. So this signifies that change is a constant in life and strategy, and talks about things like flexibility, and I hope you've got it so far. And again, this is a equivalent in the dating world to the circumstances that just are in your life. Number 8, Earth. Earth comprises distances, great and small, danger and security, open ground and narrow passes, the chances of life and death. This is terrain and security, the battlefield that which you're playing on. Love is a battlefield. Nature, natural advantages and disadvantages, how you can utilize that as well. And for this, I'm going to equate this to an English garden, if you know the difference of a French garden and an English garden. A French garden is characterized by straight lines and rows. Everything is very planned out, and the fountains are a specific way, and the rocks are, particular distances apart, versus an English garden. An English garden goes along with whatever natural terrain is already there and plays up those characteristics by adding to it. So that's the way, the Taoist way to look at Earth. The commander stands for the virtues of wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and strictness. This is going to be whatever you hold as an ideal. Most people want to be led at minimum or have some kind of societal continuity, as in doing something that someone has done before them. And in this circumstance, I'm saying religion or God, as in a divine thing that you know is a compass for you. By method and discipline are to be understood the marshalling of the army and its proper subdivisions, the graduations of rank among the officers, the maintenance of roads by which supplies may reach the army, and the control of military expenditure. This is talking about what you're doing with what you have and the moving of all the logistics, the action and allocation of your resources. And this is pretty much the same in applied to dating, as in it is what are you doing and what have you accomplished. Okay, now that we have all the little variables and the wordiness out of the way, let's get into how we're going to use it. These 5 heads should be familiar to every general. He who knows them will be victorious. He who knows them not will fail. Therefore, in your deliberations, when seeking to determine the military conditions, let them be made the basis of a comparison in this wise. So, again, look at these principles as the variables of the formula for battle strategies and love. Ladies and gentlemen, what you came here for right now is how to answer this. How can it actually be useful to you? And let's find out. Okay. Which of the 2 sovereigns is imbued with the moral law? What's the moral law? Let's revisit that. The moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler. What is ruling you? How much do you trust and believe in yourself? So which of the 2 of you is the most self-confidence? Number 2, which of the 2 generals has the most ability? Like we said, different people have been playing the game longer or better and have more experience. With whom lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth? Let's take a look at heaven and earth again. Heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons. And again, that is the things that just are for us. And earth is, again, compromises distance and terrain. So that is going to be our current circumstances. So, with whom lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth? I see a lot of this, or I'm going to equate this example to who has the higher status, so to speak, maybe better family, more financially secure, or higher achievements in the workplace, however that pans out, differences men and women and such. But okay, number 4. On which side is discipline most rigorously enforced? As in, who is going about this strategy and playing out their strategy the most effectively? So, which army is stronger? Again, stronger being a subjective term sometimes, but in this instance, stronger would imply who has more resources and experience and things like that. And on which side are officers and men more highly trained? Goes back to the how are you playing the game? How much have you absorbed with how to play this love life dating game? So, in which army is there the greater constancy both in reward and punishment? And this I'm interpreting as who has the most to lose. So what does it all mean? By means of these 7 considerations, I can forecast victory or defeat. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel nor acts upon it will suffer defeat. Let such one be dismissed. Basically, why would you go in without a plan? Come on. Listen up. While heeding the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also to any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules, like dating advice, people in YouTube videos, and other therapists that are way better than I am at this. Take advantage of all your resources. According as circumstances are favorable, one should modify one's plans. This is very, very important because it's saying, don't be married, or, don't be tied to one particular idea, even this, because things change. Now that we have the definitions, the formulas, the strategies, let's go over some of the rules of the game. 18. All warfare is based on deception. Ooh, that's so important. It's literally the quote on the back of this book. Don't tell your plans. Shh. Never reveal too much. I'm not saying be a liar. Just to your advantage. It's to see how the other person plays out their strategy. Don't lay your cards on the table. Just do what you do and see how the other person reacts without giving away all your strategy. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. This is not to say to stalk anyone. But this is sort of playing a game to a good end, sort of. Just be responsible, okay? You can kind of see this as a push-pull in a way, but also to see how a person would react necessarily in certain circumstances. Please be ethical. Please be ethical. Hopefully you understand what I mean. Don't tell everybody that you're rich or you're broke. I'm trying to give an example of like how this could apply. Don't tell everybody what you drive or where you work, and then see how they react to just you. Because a lot of times people will have judgments on what we're doing, where we work, what we drive, who we're married to, just all these kinds of things. And people are just making assumptions, which is fine. People make assumptions because of their past experiences, yes. But back to how it relates to strategy. When you're trying to do what's best for you, keep that in mind, that if you give away all your strategy, you have nothing. Okay. Number 20. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder, and crush him. Okay, now this one really does sound unethical, but this is again to that push-pull strategy. 21. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he has superior strength, evade him. This one this is a really great application in the security aspect. Okay. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. That's right. If he has all of his ish together, he's got a good job and everything, he's nice to his mama, and he's got his house, things are good. Bring your A game. Be prepared for that kind of man. Can you match up to that? Yes. Now, if he is in superior strength, evade him. Literally, let's take a step back from guys who are I am the bachelor life and I'm the super bro and I'm all into my blah, blah, blah. It's so anti-family, a lot of it. Oh, no, I don't want to say that. Do I need the feminist and the misogynist against me? Whatever. Okay. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If your boy comes home and he's in a bad mood and he's just, for no reason, you need to find out why. If your opponent is of choleric temper, if he's in a mood, you need to figure out what that is. Seek to irritate him. Figure out what's going on, because it ain't right. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. Well, this is just the classic of, make men think it's their idea to do anything. So, do what you want. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. Okay. Again, let's remind ourselves ethics here. So, I am interpreting, if he's taking his ease, give him no rest, as is if you're not there, somebody else is going to be there when he's at rest. So, just wonder how he's spending his free time. If his forces are united, separate them. I'm going to interpret this as, is he always with his boys or with his family, or is he good solo as well? Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. Please, again, don't interpret this as stalking, but I see this as stand tall with what you believe and be firm with what you expect out of a partner. And sometimes a woman being herself is the unexpected thing. 25. These military devices leading to victory must not be divulged beforehand. Again, don't run your mouth. Don't talk. Shh. Now, the general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple ere the battle is fought. Don't go in blind to things in life in general, especially not the love life. The general who loses a battle makes but few calculations beforehand. Thus do many calculations lead to victory, and few calculations to defeat. How much more no calculation at all? It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or lose. Or, just keep doing it your way. See how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more of these, but kind of almost started writing part 2. So if you want to see that, just like and comment, and love you. Bye.